This video is about the alpha protected her life but lost his throne. If this story captivates you, please like the video, share it with loved ones, and write in the comments how it touched your heart. The moon hung low in the sky, casting a silver glow over the dense forest surrounding Blackthorn Ridge. It was the night of the blood moon, a time when the ancient magic of the wolves surged strongest. The air crackled with energy, anticipation buzzing in the hearts of many. Yet, for Alpha Kale of the Nightshade Pack, the night promised turmoil. He stood at the edge of the cliff, gazing down at the valley where the rival Silver Fang pack had made their camp. A bitter wind tousled his dark hair, and his amber eyes reflected the moonlight like two molten gold coins. "Tonight, we defend what is ours," he murmured under his breath, the weight of leadership heavy on his shoulders. But Kale's thoughts were not solely on his pack. They flickered to Alara, the radiant omega of the Silver Fangs, a beauty whose laughter danced through the woods like music. The connection had shattered the unspoken boundaries of their packs, a forbidden thread that tied them together. "Alara," he whispered, the name a prayer on his lips. Their meetings had been clandestine, stolen moments beneath the stars where their laughter mingled with their longing. Yet they both knew that their love was a treacherous path, one that could unravel the very fabric of their worlds. As the moon reached its zenith, Kale's beta, Rowan, approached, his expression grim. "Alpha, the Silver Fangs are restless, tensions are rising, and they suspect something is brewing between you and Alara." Kale's heart raced. They mustn't know. If they do, it could lead to war. He clenched his fists, the primal urge to protect his mate igniting a fire within him. "We'll keep our meeting a secret. I can't let anyone harm her." Rowan sighed, his loyalty unwavering. "But what if they find out? You'd be risking everything, Kale, your pack, your position, even Alara's life." Before Kale could respond, a howl pierced the night, echoing through the trees like a warning bell. It was a Silver Fang call, a challenge that reverberated in his bones. "It has started," Kale said, his voice low and steady. "We need to gather the pack." As they descended the cliff, Kale's heart pounded with a mixture of dread and determination. He would protect Alara, even if it meant defying the laws that governed their clans. Their love was worth the risk, he told himself. Meanwhile, in the heart of the Silver Fang camp, Alara paced under the watchful eyes of her pack. Her loyalty to her family was unwavering, yet her heart beat for the man on the opposing side of the valley. The two tribes had been rivals for generations, but Kale had stolen her breath and heart. "Alara, you must focus." Her sister, Mira, insisted, her voice sharp with concern. "The Alpha has summoned the pack. Tonight could change everything for us." "I know," Alara whispered, her mind a whirlwind of emotions. "But what if Kale is in danger? What if he needs me?" Mira grabbed her sister's shoulders, forcing her to meet her gaze. "Your heart may belong to him, but your duty is to our pack. You can't let love blind you. We need to stand united against the Nightshade." Alara's heart sank. "I can't deny what I feel. Love isn't a choice, it is a calling." Her voice trembled, straining against the reality that surrounded them. "And I fear what may happen if we don't fight for it." As the Silver Fangs gathered, the air thickened with tension. Kale stood at the forefront of the Nightshade Pack, his presence commanding respect despite the storm brewing in his heart. Beneath the blood moon, he had to choose protect his pack or follow his heart. "Tonight, we assert our dominance." Kale's voice boomed, a challenge that echoed through the night. "The Silver Fangs think us weak, but they will learn the truth. We fight for honor, for our home." Cheers erupted from his pack, but Kale felt hollow inside. He was about to lead them into a battle that could cost him his throne, his life, and the one person he cherished most. The night wore on, filled with challenges and howls of defiance, but no confrontation broke out. Tension simmered, and Alara couldn't shake the feeling that something terrible was on the horizon. Returning to the pack's den, her heart raced with worry. She needed to see Kale, to feel the warmth of his presence. As she slipped away from the camp, the moonlit path guided her to their secret meeting spot, a secluded glade where fireflies danced like stars. Alara's breath caught in her throat when she saw him waiting, his silhouette bathed in silver light. "Kale," she breathed, rushing into his arms. The world faded away, leaving only the warmth of each other's embrace. "Alara," he whispered, brushing a tendril of hair from her face, his heart aching with the weight of their situation. "What are you doing here? It's dangerous." "I had to see you," she replied, voice trembling. "I can't bear the thought of you fighting without me by your side." His amber gaze darkened with a mixture of longing and fear. "You shouldn't be here. My pack, they won't understand. If they find out." "I don't care," she interrupted, tears glistening in her eyes. "I love you, Kale. I would rather stand with you against the world than live in fear of what might happen." He cradled her face in his hands, his heart aching with the weight of her words. But my duty is to my pack, Alara. I can let you be a pawn in this war. Duty or love? Kale, which one will you choose when the time comes? She challenged, her voice fierce. I can lose you to this feud. We deserve to fight for our happiness. Silence enveloped them, heavy with unspoken fears. The distant howls of their packs echoed, a reminder of the chaos that threatened to erupt. Gale's heart was torn. Could he really forsake his throne for love? I wish it were that simple, he murmured, pain etching his features. But I'm Alpha. If I fail, it could spell destruction for my pack. Alara stepped closer, her resolve unwavering. And what of our love? Is it not worth fighting for? We can find a path where both our packs can thrive. We can end this war together. Kale's breath hitched, the thought of a united future sparking a flicker of hope within him. Yet reality loomed large. Our packs may never accept it. The bond between Alphas and Omegas is sacred, and yours is with your tribe. I refuse to accept that. Alara's voice rose, passion igniting her words. We are bound by fate, Kale. The moon chose us. We can defy the odds. But as she spoke, shadows loomed in the distance, figures emerging from the tree line. Kale's instincts flared, and he pulled Alara close, shielded by his body. We have to go, now. In that moment, Kale knew that protecting Alara meant risking everything. But as the silhouettes approached pack members from both tribes, he realized the battle for their love was far from over. Destiny was calling, and the fight had only just begun. The night air crackled with tension as Kale and Alara stood entwined beneath the blood moon, the shadows creeping closer. Kale's heart raced, the primal instinct to protect his mate rising like a tide threatening to engulf him. Kale, they'll see us? Alara whispered, eyes wide with fear. We can let them find us here, not like this. His grip on her tightened, and he felt her heart flutter against his chest. I won't let anyone touch you, he vowed, his voice low and fierce. Not now, not ever. We'll find a way, Alara. Before she could respond, a sharp bark split the air, followed by a chorus of growls from the approaching figures. It was the Silverfang scouts, led by none other than Mark, their fierce beta. There they are. Mark shouted, his tone laced with contempt. The traitorous Alpha and his stolen Omega. Kale stepped protectively in front of Alara, his instincts flaring at the sight of his enemy. Back off, Mark. This is between our packs, not us. Mike smirked, a cruel twist of his lips. Is it, or is it just your weakness for the enemy that's clouding your judgment? You were willing to throw everything away for her? Alara's heart sank, recognizing the truth hidden in Mike's words. Kale, she breathed, fear gnawing at her resolve. They want to understand. They'll think we were betraying our packs. They don't understand love, Kale replied fiercely, his eyes burning with determination. But I will make them see. I refuse to lose you, Alara. But before he could assert his claim, more figures emerged from the shadows. Silverfang warriors, led by Alara's sister Mira, arrived in a rush, the tension crackling like a storm about to break. Step away from her, Kale. Mira ordered, eyes flashing with anger and hurt. You can't have her, she's one of us. Is that how you see it? Gale replied, his voice low and steady. Alara is not a prize to be won in this feud. She is my mate. Alara's heart swelled at his words, but she felt the impending doom of the situation. Mira, please, she pleaded, stepping between the two packs. I love Kale. We can let hatred decide our futures. Love it? Mira scoffed, anger simmering just below the surface. It is a fool as errant. You risking everything for a lost cause. Everything? Gale echoed, stepping forward. I will risk it all for her. If you can see that love is worth more than old grudges, then our packs will remain enemies. Mark laughed bitterly. You are a dreamer, Kale. Love can change fate. The blood moon is upon us. It only brings out the worst in wolves. You think you can defy destiny? In that moment, a howl rang through the air, echoing off the trees. It was a warning, a call to gather. The blood moon had awakened an ancient magic, and Kale could feel its pull deep within him. Tonight, we fight, he declared, voice rising above the chaos. For our packs, for honor, and for love, but I will not make Alara a pawn in this game. You know what your love means. Mark challenged, stepping closer, teeth bared. It means betrayal. You'll lose everything, your throne, your pack, your life. Gale's heart twisted at the thought, but he remained resolute. Then let it be so. I'd rather be nothing without Alara than a king on a throne of ashes. Alara watched the conflict unfold, torn between her loyalty to her sister and her love for Kale. Mira, I can stay silent. I love him. He is my mate. Mira recoiled, hurt flashing in her eyes. And you think that love can withstand the wrath of our packs? You'll only bring ruin upon us. Maybe the ruin has already begun, Cale interjected sharply, his frustration boiling over. Look around you, we standing on the brink of war, and yet you blinded by old feuds. This can end tonight. Enough, Mike shouted, his voice like thunder. We'll settle this now, a challenge, alpha against alpha, winner takes all. Cale glanced at Alara, who watched him with wide, fearful eyes. There's no need for this, he said, but the weight of power and pride hung heavily in the air. Will you run from the challenge? Mike taunted. Or will you accept your fate, Alpha? Show us what you were made of. Cale's heart thundered in his chest. He could not back down, not now, not ever. I accept, he roared, his voice echoing across the valley. For Alara and for all of us. Enough? Alara cried, stepping forward in desperation. Cale, please, this isn't how it has to be. He turned to her, the fire in his eyes softened by love. I'll protect our future, Alara. This is the only way to ensure peace. The two alphas circled each other, their packs tense with anticipation. Cale could feel the pulse of the blood moon overhead, its magic thrumming through him. He had to win not just for his pack, but for Alara and their shared destiny. As they charged, the forest erupted in howls and cheers. Cale's wolf surged forth, the primal energy igniting his senses. He was not just fighting for himself, he was fighting for every moment with Alara, every stolen kiss beneath the stars. Mike was fierce, but Cale was fueled by love and determination. The clash of their bodies sent shockwaves through the ground, and Cale's instincts guided him, evoking the strength of his ancestors. But as the battle raged on, a sudden shift in the air caught Cale's attention. A dark figure emerged from the tree line, a lone wolf with silver fur that glimmered under the moonlight. It was a sign and omen of the ancient magic that bound their fates. Alara! Cale shouted, eyes wide with realization. The magic had. Before he could finish, the silver wolf howled, echoing like a siren through the night. The ground trembled, and a wave of energy surged through the clearing, enveloping the fighters. Sensing the danger, Alara stepped forward, the bond between them intensifying. Cale, we must unite our packs, or this magic will consume us. Mike faltered, confusion flickering in his eyes. What do you mean? Cale took a deep breath, his heart racing. The blood moon is a call for unity. It demands we end our feud or risk losing everything. As the moonlight enveloped them, a wave of understanding washed over the two alphas. They felt the wolves stir, recognizing the pull of destiny and ancient bonds stronger than hatred. Mike, Cale said, voice steady as he stood before his rival, we can end this, join me, and let us forge a new alliance between our packs. In that moment, Alara stepped beside Cale, her hand finding his. Together, we can create a future where love defies old rivalries, we can protect our families. The tension hung thick in the air, and for a heartbeat, silence enveloped them, as if the forest itself was holding its breath. Then, slowly, Mike stepped forward, uncertainty etched on his face. You think love can conquer all? Cale nodded, resolute. It has to. We owe it to our wolves, to our families, to try. Mike hesitated, but the magic of the blood moon pulsated around them, urging him toward understanding. With a reluctant nod, he stepped closer. Then let us unite, for the sake of our packs and for them. As the moonlight bathed them in its glow, a wave of relief washed over Alara. Cale had fought not just for his throne, but for love, a love that could change everything. Together, Cale murmured, his gaze locked with Alara's. The future felt bright, filled with hope. And as they stood united, the wolves howled in unison, a sound echoing through the night, a new beginning forged from the ashes of their past. As the first rays of dawn began to pierce the horizon, the remnants of the blood moon still lingered in the air like a fading dream. The tension that had once hung thickly between the nightshade and silver fang packs began to dissipate, replaced by the fragile threads of hope and uncertainty. Cale stood at the edge of the clearing, breathless, the weight of the night's events pressing down on him. Beside him, Alara felt a whirlwind of emotion stirring within her. Did we truly just witness a miracle? She whispered, glancing at the assembled wolves of both packs, mingling in cautious camaraderie. Can this alliance hold? Cale turned to her, his amber eyes reflecting the dawn's light. It has to, he replied, his voice a mixture of determination and vulnerability. For our sake and for the future of our packs. He reached for her hand, intertwining their fingers, seeking solace in their bond. But the real challenge lies ahead. Trust won't come easily. Alara nodded, squeezing his hand, her heart swelling with love. We'll find a way, Cale, together. That beneath her resolve lay a nagging worry. Mira's harsh words echoed in her mind, a reminder of the deep-rooted skepticism that would challenge their bond. Alpha Kale. A voice called from the gathering crowd. It was Roran, his expression grave as he approached. There are members of dissent among the Silver Fangs. They feel betrayed, and some are questioning your leadership. Kale's heart sank. This is meant to unite us, not divide us further. He turned to Alara, his gaze pleading. We need to act quickly. If we allow doubt to fester, it could undo everything we've rebuilt. Alara stepped forward, her voice steady. I'll speak to Mira and the others. I understand their fears. I can help quell their doubts. Her heart raced at the thought of confronting her sister, but the stakes were too high. They need to see that love is stronger than bloodlines. Kale nodded, admiration washing over him. You have a strength that inspires me, Alara. Promise me you'll be careful. She smiled softly, the warmth of his words igniting a spark within her. Always. With a final glance, she turned and made her way toward the Silver Fangs, her heart pounding with the weight of the task ahead. As she approached her pack, she felt the eyes of warriors assessing her, their expressions a mixture of suspicion and anger. Aura. Mira's voice sliced through the tension, laden with betrayal and hurt. How could you betray us like this? Mira, please, Alara implored, stepping closer. I am not betraying anyone. Kale and I fought for a future where both our packs can thrive together. She felt the anger of her sister's gaze, but she pressed on. This isn't just about him, it is about us. Asa. Mira's laugh was bitter, echoing in the silence. You think you can change generations of rivalry with mere words? You think love will save you? Mira, it can, Alara replied, her voice steady, despite the quivering in her heart. Last night proved it. The blood moon called for unity, and if we ignore it, we doom ourselves to an endless cycle of hatred. Mira hesitated, her eyes searching Alara's face for the truth she feared might be there. And what if you be wrong? What if you lose everything for this fantasy? I'd rather fight for fantasy than accept a future drenched in blood, Alara declared passionately, feeling the weight of her sister's fear. You've seen what love can do, Mira. Look at Kale. He was willing to risk everything to protect me. Mira's expression faltered, a flicker of uncertainty crossing her features. And what will become of our pack? You think they will follow a traitorous path? Only if we show them that our hearts are stronger than our fears, Alara urged, desperate to reach her sister. We can lead them toward a brighter future. We can create change. Silence fell between them, thick with unspoken emotions. The air crackled with tension, and Alara's heart raced with the possibilities and the dangers of her sister's response. You can just expect them to trust you, Alara. Mira finally spoke, her voice quieter, but laced with frustration. You'll need to show them you are serious. I will, Alara promised, her resolve strengthening. I will prove that our love is a path worth walking. With that, she turned back towards the crowd, mirroring the strength she felt from Kale. Meanwhile, Kale faced the warriors of his own pack, their eyes filled with doubt. What are we risking by allying with the Silver Fangs? One growled, his voice dripping with skepticism. They've been our enemies for generations. Kale felt a surge of protective instinct for Alara. We were risking nothing but our pride, he stated firmly, meeting each warrior's gaze. In the face of love, pride is trivial. Our future hinges on unity, on understanding. But they could betray us, another voice called out, the tension palpable. They could, Kale admitted, feeling the weight of the hard truth. But if we choose to trust, we are choosing hope over fear. Is that not worth fighting for? The air shifted as the wolves considered his words, the tension thickening, but Kale could sense the flicker of possibility in their hearts. As the day wore on, both alphas took up the mantle of bridging their packs together. Meetings were called, discussions ensued, but old wounds were slow to heal. Alara and Kale worked tirelessly to bring understanding, each encounter filled with passion and fear, their connection deepening with every shared moment of struggle. But as night fell, Alara sensed a lingering darkness, a shadow that refused to vanish. Kale, she murmured, their hands entwined as they sat beneath the stars. I fear that not everyone will accept this union. I know, he replied, his voice heavy with concern. But we must remain vigilant. Love isn't just a feeling, it requires work, sacrifice, and sometimes pain. Alara shivered at his words, the truth resonating within her. What if that pain comes from our own packs? What if they don't accept us? Then we fight for them, Kale said, his resolve unwavering. We show them that our love is real, that it can bring strength to both packs. I won't allow our fate to be dictated by fear. But as he spoke, a howl echoed through the night, a sound that sent shivers down their spines. The voice was familiar, Myark, calling for a gathering. A challenge hung in the air, and Alara's heart sank. What is happening? Kale's expression darkened. It seemed some are unwilling to accept our bond. Alara squeezed his hand, determination coursing through her. Then we face it together. With hearts racing, they stepped forward, the clearing illuminated by the glow of torches. The tension simmered as the Silver Fangs and Nightshade warriors gathered, eyes filled with apprehension. Tonight, we settle this once and for all. Micah's voice rang out, a fierce determination in his tone. No more of this foolish alliance. We are wolves, not traitors. Kale stepped forward, his heart pounding with urgency. We are wolves united by love, not divided by hatred. This is not a betrayal, it is a choice for a better future. But Mark only sneered. You think your words can change the hearts of our warriors. Love is a weakness. Kale, you refuse to believe it can unite us. Alara took a deep breath, stepping beside Kale, her heart racing. We are not weak. Our love is a strength that can bring us together, but only if you are willing to see it. Mike's eyes blazed with fury. Then we'll let the night decide. A challenge, alpha against alpha. Prove you are worth or lose everything. Kale's heart sank, knowing the risks, but the fire within him ignited as he faced Mike. I accept your challenge, but not just for my pack. I fight for love, for our future. Alara felt the ground shake beneath her as the warriors of both packs bristled with anticipation. Kale turned to her, his gaze fierce yet tender. Whatever happens, know this. You are my heart, Alara. I will fight for you. I believe in you, she whispered, tears brimming at the corners of her eyes. Fight with everything you have. The moon hung heavy in the sky as Kale and Mike circled each other, the echoes of their packs fading into the background. It was a battle not just of strength, but of resolve, of love against hatred. As they clashed, Kale felt the pulse of the blood moon surrounding him, a reminder that their fates were intertwined. He fought not just for his throne, but for the future he dared to dream with Alara. With each strike, each growl, he remembered her laughter, her strength. He would not lose her. The battle raged beneath the haunting glow of the blood moon, its crimson hue casting an eerie light upon the clearing where Kale and Mike faced off. Each strike reverberated through the night as their packs looked on, their breaths caught in collective anticipation. Gale's heart pounded with fierce determination. He was fighting for much more than just his title as Alpha. He was fighting for Alara, their love, and the fragile hope that unity could overcome centuries of rivalry. As he charged at Mike, a primal roar tore from his throat, echoing through the forest. Is this all you have, Kale? Mike taunted, dodging Kale's lunge with a sneer. Your love is a hollow weakness. It won't save you tonight. Kale felt a surge of anger, fueled by the thought of Alara standing at the edge of the crowd, her eyes wide with concern. He could not afford to let her down. Love is strength, Mike, he shouted, pivoting to deliver a powerful blow that connected with Mike's shoulder, sending the Silver Fang Alpha reeling. It is what makes us more than just beasts, it is what makes us whole. But Mike was quick to recover, a feral glint in his eye. Hold, you think you can find wholeness in betrayal? He lunged forward, claws aiming for Kale's throat, but Kale sidestepped, letting instinct guide him. Their bodies clashed, a furious dance of power and desperation. With each strike, Kale felt the weight of the pack's expectations bearing down on him. He was their alpha, their leader, yet the most important weight was the love he felt for Alara, which coursed through him like a wildfire. As the two alphas battled, Alara watched from the sidelines, her heart torn between fear and fierce pride. Fight, Kale, you can do this, she called, her voice a beacon in the chaos. I believe in you. In that moment, Kale caught her gaze, and a surge of energy ignited within him. Her unwavering faith in him fueled his resolve. I won't let you down, Alara, he roared, and launched himself at Mike once more, this time with renewed vigor. Mike stumbled back, momentarily taken aback by the intensity that radiated from Kale. You think your love can shield you from this? You are just a love-struck fool, he spat, blood mingling with fur. Perhaps, Kale admitted, breathless but determined. But that fool has the heart of a warrior, and I will not back down. With a fierce growl, Kale lunged again, his teeth snapping just inches away from Mike's throat. He felt the raw power of the blood moon coursing through him, as if the universe itself were urging him forward. But then, the air shifted, and beneath the cacophony of growls and snarls he heard a chilling howl echo through the forest. A call of darkness, a warning that sent chills racing down his spine. The pack fell silent, all eyes turning toward the tree line. Kale, Alara! Rowan's voice cut through the tension, urgency lacing his tone. We are not alone, there are more Silver Fangs approaching. A sense of dread filled the air. Gale's heart raced not just for himself, but for the future he envisioned with Alara. What do they want? He shouted, fear seeping into his voice as he turned to Rowan, desperation clawing at him. They want to finish what they started. We need to hold our ground. Rowan replied, his eyes scanning the perimeter, assessing the growing threat. Stay close to Laura. Cale commanded, the protective instinct surging through him. He could feel the tension in the air thickening, the risk of losing everything he fought for growing ever more real. As the shadows of the approaching silver fangs materialized, Cale's heart sank. A group of fierce warriors emerged from the dark, eyes glinting with malice. Their beta, a fearsome wolf with a scarred face, stepped forward, growling low. You are a traitor, Cale. You think you can defy our traditions and live? Enough. Mike roared, stepping away from Cale to face his own pack. This is not the time for infighting. We have a greater enemy to deal with, the Nightshade pack. Do not attack unless commanded. Alara's heart raced, her hands trembling in anxiety. We can't let them destroy what we've just built. We are on the precipice of change. She stepped closer, her voice rising above the turmoil. If we choose hate now, we will lose everything. The Silverfang warrior snarled, eyes narrowing on Alara. You think your love can save you? You are just a naive Omega. Cale's protective instinct flared. Don't speak to her that way, he growled, stepping forward, his stance unwavering. You'll respect her. She is the reason I fight, the reason I believe we can change. The Silverfang pack shifted, uncertainty flickering in their eyes. They'd been conditioned to view alliances as betrayal, but Cale's fierce conviction was beginning to sow seeds of doubt. Mike, Cale said, eyes fierce. We can end this cycle of hatred. We must not let old grudges dictate our future. Stand with me. Mike's expression wavered, the conflict evident in his gaze. You think this is just about us? He spat, but the fire in his voice was dimming. What of the others? They want to accept this betrayal. Then we show them, Alara interjected, her voice steady and fierce. Tonight is not just a battle for the throne, it is a battle for everything we believe in, for love, for unity. We can lead them together. Before Mike could respond, another howl echoed through the trees, this one sharper, piercing the night. Cale's heart dropped as he recognized the sound and omen that sent a ripple of dread through him. By the moon, Cale breathed, panic rising. They were coming for blood. Rowan turned to Cale, urgency etched in his features. We need to unite our packs now. The Silverfangs won't hesitate. We must stand together. Mike! Cale shouted, desperation spilling from his lips. Tonight, we have two choices, to fight each other or to join forces against the real threat. Love has given us this chance. Will you take it? The forest echoed with the tension of their standoff. Mike's gaze flickered to Alara, who stood resolute beside Cale. Our warriors will never accept this, he barked, but the uncertainty in his voice was telling. Then we show them what love can do. Alara said, stepping forward with unwavering courage. Together, we can protect our families, forge a future where love reigns over fear. Cale turned to his pack, his heart pounding. We must trust each other. Love is not a weakness. It is our greatest strength. This is our moment to redefine our legacy. Just then, the shadows deepened as a group of rogue wolves broke through the tree line, vicious and fierce, their eyes glinting with primal hunger. Surrender, and your packs will be spared, their leader growled, a menacing figure standing out among them. A collective gasp echoed through the gathered wolves as fear washed over the clearing. Cale's heart raced, instinct overriding everything else. We fight, he shouted, his voice a rallying cry. For our love, our unity, we will not let fear dictate our fates. With that, the battle erupted, not just between the packs but against the encroaching threat of the rogues. The air was filled with howls and growls, the forest trembled beneath the weight of the clash. Fight after fight, Cale and Mike found themselves fighting side by side, the lines of rivalries blurring as they defended their packs. Cale felt the exhilaration of battle, but it was Alara's voice, a beacon of hope that fueled him. Cale, behind you, she called, pointing to a rogue bearing down on him, claws bared. In that moment, he turned, instinct kicking in as he dodged the attack, retaliating swiftly. Together, they fought, their movements synchronized like a dance. Mike and his wolves battled alongside them, the realization dawning that old grudges could be laid to rest even in the heat of chaos. Cale felt the shift, the bond of understanding forging between them like a shield against the darkness encroaching. Alara, keep close. Cale commanded, and she nodded, her fierce spirit never wavering. With every challenge they faced, their hearts grew more intertwined, a tapestry of love and loyalty woven through each breath. As the night wore on, Cale felt a shift in the air, a glimmer of hope as the rogue forces began to falter, their numbers dwindling against the unyielding unity of the two packs. Now is our chance, we can end this. Kelly yelled to Mike as they fought back to back, their bonds solidifying with each growl exchanged. To get that, Mike.